and welcome to the stream. My name is Lee. We started before noon, which is a good start. Welcome to the stream. And the Greyhawk Wiki's feeling good today. No bots. Which is nice. So that's fun. Okay. Yep, so that's what happened. Let's go to here. Then I go to... Alright, let's do it. I have 0 viewers so far, but that's okay. Good morning. Alright. Sorry. So, welcome on in. So my name is Lee. That's a start. And today's Greyhawk Day. For those of you who don't know, every Wednesday, it used to be Monday mornings, that was a bad idea. Like, I'm already exhausted. I worked an overnight last night, but I'm gonna at least do a little bit of streaming because, probably gonna end the stream on the earlier side just so I can maybe have a nap, but I also want to, I want to do a Greyhawk stream because even if I pulled an extra shift, because Greyhawk streams are awesome and it's Wednesday. So let me, we're gonna go, and I'm gonna look in the Greyhawk channel. So I have a Discord. Right. North Province. Check the NBC. East Fair. And other towns as well. Okay, yes. I think what happened with North Province was we're going through the section, and then I got distracted by the Wind March, because that was a huge thing that kept cropping up. Oh, the Wind March does this, Wind March does that. No information. So I had to go and, like, piece together fragments to try and come up with a vaguely cohesive Wind March page, which we did. That was a big project. But right now, what we are going to do is bring up the, everything dying. I am curious what the... Vaguely. I mean, we're not, obviously not doing that. But I am curious as to what the AI summary of it would look like. How do you summarize a book? What you would... I mean, like, you would have chapter summaries, which makes sense. But... let's see. North Province. Alright, let's see. Lay of the land. See, okay, yes. Kids after nation state. Nation state, yes. No, not that one. Just scooching this forward a little bit, just so I can get a good read on that. Good time zone to you as well. It is officially exactly noon here, so afternoon's a little, well, it is past noon technically. It's like 12. Oh, it's 12:01. It is officially afternoon, so that's good. I mean, I am struggling. Did not get a lot of sleep last night, but you know, I'm making it work. So, what was I going to say? Yes, we're going to, our plan was to Grendel, okay, taxes and tithes. Yeah. Okay. So, Grendel is Priest of Hextor. He's the, I wonder if there's a, okay, so that's, East Fair. Let me search. Here we go. This is the wiki is actually cooperating today for now. So let's search. Okay, East Fair does have a page. It has exactly Great Kingdom of Northern North Kingdom. That is the entirety of the page. Okay, we can do better than that. So I think that's our for today is East Fair is to make that happen. I could use some liquid. I don't have any liquid, and I think that is not good. So hydrate or dihydrate, right? So what we're going to do is there's going to be an ad. They're going to get an ad. And what we're going to do is when it comes up, I'm going to show you guys a picture of Addie. Oh wow, I have 4 viewers. Hi everyone. I'm going to show you all a picture of Addie. She's a cutie pie. Then I'm going to go get liquid. Then um then we're going to actually set about creating East Fair. So we'll see New City. Um, 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 okay, so Old City. Alright, so there's this gates. Okay. Alright, give me a second. Let me get liquid. Uh, mm. You can still hear me, so that's good. He's doing okay. A little bit upset. We're struggling, but he's okay. Going Uncle John? I think that might be the plan. At least for now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let us do it. Hello, hello, and welcome. East Fair. Okay. Let's see. So it's got the old city and the new city. Um, beyond the North Province. The Granite City. Okay, East Fair is a walled city built from the same granite that can be found around the headwaters of the Flanmy, near the huge underground aquifers and water tables. City lies almost at the end of the Wind March. We got distracted by the Wind March and what exactly that was. Um, as it turns north from Ored and the Brewfest Great Fair is week-long orgy of self-indulgence debauchery. From East Fair northward, a number of minor villages hold Wind Fair trade fairs later in the year, but these have now declined in importance as trade has dwindled. Is not what it appears to be. The city seems hard, stark, and stern in its cloak of granite walls. The city has an air of discipline. The town guard and detachments of rakersmen, elite troops of North Province, maintain excellent public order. While it has a reputation for urbanity, ordinary folk in the city work hard. The streets are clean, and there are no dingy thieves' quarters or filthy slums to offend the eye. However, East Fair has always attracted the most debauched and degenerate nobility and merchants of North Province. The merchants have only city-based guilds in North Province, the Royal Guild of Merchants having no license to operate or organize here. And East Fair is the city which draws the wealthiest. Goods have always been expensive here, so it's 10% to all prices. So, in addition to the provincial cost multiplier, so it's actually, um, sorry, high inflation. Um, Thus, East Fair attracts wealth. These riches are either inherited or else obtained by the best merchants, that is, the most unscrupulous, swindling, money-grabbing ones. Given this, it is not surprising that Eastfair's rich like to spend their money on depraved and immoral activities. Cool. So it's suckers and blow. Okay, cool. That is the, Nonetheless, Eastfair has a considerable number of truly exceptional craftsmen and artisans within its city walls. The number has been swollen by people seeking refuge in the Granite City from more troubled lands and cities. Now, truly, Eastfair is a city where one can buy almost anything, if one has almost limitless supplies of gold. So if you're rich, you can get whatever you want. Cool. Alright, has its problems. So it doesn't have a lot of thieves. So there's very little theft. Yeah, anything above 500 gold pieces value means execution, and every theft above 25 gold pieces, minimum sentence is 2 years imprisonment. Thus, despite the presence of abundant rich pickings, these are few and far between. Only a handful of very skilled solitary operators are to be found here, not any formal thieves' guild. A major problem arises from the presence of Ira's angry army, as they style themselves. The orcs are often drunk. Okay, so there's a drunken orcan army. Everything and having to live behind city walls, and their own leaders cannot maintain discipline that well. Location, key, below details. The orcs here. Okay. Other major problems are far more unusual. The web has 2 cells of spies acting independently here. 1 cell. 5 people led by 9th level mage, Concarn El-Sweat, received its last set of orders from Roxas, an urgent need to infiltrate and round up any anti-imperial group which specialized in magical subversion. Charm, hypnotism, so, okay. Magic control is said to be used to sabotage Eastfair city defenses, such as the Great Gate and the city walls. The infiltration strategy used by the cell called for magical sabotage against precisely those city defenses in an attempt to flush out the real subversives. The second cell, led by 9th level female mage, Patrol. So I got 2 9th level mages running competing spy cells in this city. Okay. This is, second cell, okay. Received garbled instructions to flush out an anti-imperial group, which was directly employing sabotage against Eastfair city defenses. Their strategy has been to charm and hypnotize city servants connected to the integrity of the city defenses in an attempt to gain inside knowledge of the subversive actions and track down these responsible. The actual truth is there's no anti-imperial subversives trying to sabotage Eastfair, but the 2 cells are committing magical crimes which convince the other cell that they are indeed dangerous subversives at work. So they're both trying to pretend to be anti-city subversives, anti-imperial subversives, in order to figure out who the actual imperial subversives are, but because they have 2 cells doing that, they think each other are the actual ones, which is just... that is... I don't even know what to put that under, but that is actually, intense. Members of the other cells, they continue their own sabotages. In addition, they occasionally use kidnapping, extortion, and robbery to maintain finances, since no monies have been forthcoming from Roxas for a long time. The 30 Saints are mystified what magical scrying they can bring to bear on the matter has yielded no information, since cell members are protected against magical discovery. They're 9th level mages, they have. Okay, so we got the old city and the new city. Let's see. Hang on. Okay. Okay, so Herzog is active worship. Okay, the Cyst is a building located behind iron railings protected by crests of Hexdor and squads of Rakersmen. I mean, can without an invitation or summons or granted pass of the Herzog himself. In the central building is the Herzog Palace, houses Grace Grinnell and hierarchy of priesthood of Hexdor, together with the most senior city officials, Chancellor, City Architect, Commander General of the Watch, etc. To the right of the palace are the barracks of the Rakersmen, with some 600 troops and a dozen or more of their senior commanding officers. Okay. Spiteful. Hi. Welcome. I'm not buying viewers, just so you know. That's against Twitch terms of service, and I don't really want to anyway, but you're welcome to hang out and stay. Okay. We get Cathedral of Hexdor. Alright, so that would be city, and then you got Newgate, Square of the Sun and Moon, Paved Towns. Okay, so there's that. Whole story. Okay, so that is a, okay, these are, holstery. Okay, so City areas. Okay, so that's neighborhoods. Undercity. Oh, other locations and settlements. Okay, so there's just entire. Okay, let me look at the map. So first thing we're looking for geography. Let's. I believe it's 28. There we go. You see, there's the map. So if I pull this up, let's see where East Fair is. South of the. Okay, on the what river is this? This is the problem with these maps is that they don't label the rivers. So you have to go to this map to check, double check and then you have to go to Anna's map, which isn't canon, but is close enough that it suffices. And then you have to check the rivers, and it's just a whole thing. The roads. Okay, so it's on this river, essentially. The North, what is now the North Kingdom, formerly the North Province, capital. Okay, so fairly far inland, located along the river. I think that's a pretty good description. And then to the they don't also mention which forest is which forest, which I think is a little okay. So we are going to find Anna's map because she labels the geography. So Anna B. Meyer. Nope. There we go. I linked her Patreon because I support Patreon, and I think she has a $0 here too. So you got access to more and you can access some of the stuff. Let's see. We're gonna have to get 576 because we get easy zoom. Okay. Which is good because North Province. East Fair is Belport. East Fair should be a river. Prince probably East Fair. Oh, okay, yeah. So the East Fair city proper is Strand, Ludwin. East Fair city proper should be somewhere around here, right? Okay, there's the river. Where's East Fair city proper? Hang on. East Fair, there it is. Whichever river this is. Okay, so rivers. Oh, I see how it. Oh, the river kind of links. The river. I mean, to be fair, the rivers. Now we have to compare the maps and figure out. Um, but I wasn't even showing you guys the map. Hang on. That's the map. So now we have to do comparative map. So assuming that these two rivers are not connected, which it seems Luverne, because Anna labels which rivers they are, so that's comparative. So then Luverne. So if we do that, so Luverne, okay, because she's using other official sources that have the rivers named. So if we go here and there and I go back to here. Luverne. Okay, there's Luverne there on that river, and then East Fair's over on this river. So yes, assuming the rivers aren't, it's about the same comparatively, and then that river goes is the Trask River, and then this one with East Fair here is Flanme. Yeah, and it talks about the the Flanme. So it's on the Flanme, and then this is the Trask here, and then there's a road between them. But and then East. And then and then Ludwig, and then you can see the road here. Okay, so I think that works. Geographically sensible. Okay, so it's on the near the head of the Flanme. Uh, to the north of the Adri. Okay, so north of the Adri Forest, northeast of the Adri Forest. Okay, so that's how we're gonna do this. So let's do that. It doesn't have a geography. Usually they put a geography section. Yes. Kingdom of Northern Erde. Let's see. Hang on. North Kingdom. Okay. And it's just Great Kingdom, Northern Area. Okay. It's the official name for North Kingdom. Okay. That is, yes. Um. Alright, and then we can put the history of the old city versus new city in the history. Okay, yeah, I can show you the page again. There. So history, we can also just put a geography section in, but I think if we're just gonna do a few paragraphs, then maybe we'll just throw it in the top section, because the top section have a little more weight to it. People did theirs. Is there a oh, they took out cityscape. Whoever wrote this took out cityscape, which I think was a terrible idea. But that is a thing we can put back in, and then we can have some information about the neighborhoods. Maybe not all of it, but some of it. I think that would be. I think that'd be a good idea. Let's do it. Okay. Cityscape. Okay. We'll put the cityscape thing back in. So East Fair is gonna take more than. Let's go here. Let's go edit source. Mm-hmm. Realm North Kingdom size. Population. Population is listed here, isn't it? Okay, let me go back to the. Was it that one? Roxas. Nope, that was Roxas and Land Overking. Okay, let's pop this down. We're gonna find the table of North Province. It is that. Okay. Okay, I see how that is. We're just gonna go down a little. There we go. There's North Province. Okay. Population 31,000 plus 3, so 34,000, give or take a bit. 34,000, give or take a bit. Yeah, 34,000, give or take a bit. Yeah, let's go with 34,000. Population 34,000. Humans and humanoids both. Mostly human with a. Okay, so mostly. Sizable humanoid pop. So the old D&D term. So there's two. Back in earlier things, what they mean by humanoid, what they say, humanoid means orcs, goblins, and giant kin. Um, yeah, goblinoids and giant kin and orcs, and yeah, orcs, giants, goblin kin, whereas and ogres and such. Whereas demi-human is elves, dwarves, halflings, gnomes, at all, and then there's humans. So demi-human is sort of an older term. Now the term humanoid implies to pretty much elves, dwarves, etc. Anything that's vaguely human shaped, including humans. Humans get lumped in with humanoid because it's just human shaped, person shaped essentially. Humanoid just person shaped, um, which is actually an interesting thing with rangers because they get enemy proficiency against humanoids, and it's just that was back from when orcs were the one that you used for that. That was what humanoid meant, I think, because in CNC, which is not Osric, but it's a similar theory, rangers get proficiency against humanoids, against orcs and goblins, etc. But let's see. Okay, East Fair motto. Okay. Government, alignment, language, religion. Um, Not much we can be certain of. Authority, government. Yes. Authority is. You go to because there's Herzog. Uh, yes. Although, uh, Granite City. Okay. Then you got this, I think. Locations, Bellport. Bellport, and Causeway of Fiends. There's a lot of ones, actually. So we have to check all of them to see what's what. But for most part, we're gonna go to. Let me just see something. Uh, Prince Post token. Yes. Um. Percent Estram. Priest of Prince of House Torkin. Grinnell, his reading. Okay. Herzog of the North. Okay, so Herzog of the North. Well, we're gonna have to check out Grinnell and see if he survivor all the 60 years. So okay, so that is Grinnell Herzog. So I think he's like the head of the city. Is yeah, Herzog is the head of the city as well. There's other powerful princes too, though. So that's interesting. But he's in the city. We'll put a pin in that for now. Um, let's put a pin in that. Yeah, let's start with this. And then we can do is go to updated box. Yes. Okay, probably should just. That's the thing. Yeah. Okay. Population and religion. So roughly this many humanoids, with the humanoids mostly being this army of orcs that that's I think okay. So that's people, population, and religion is Church of Hextor because the Hex the his radiant grace is a the Herzog is a priest of Hextor. So that's the thing. Okay, let's do this. Um, at the head of the Flammy River. Just to the of Northern Erde. Um, uh, see, Swindon's Wealth. Awash in Devices. Yes. Uh, yeah. All right. Um, action. Okay. I'll do that. Okay. So there we go. Let me search the. If the flan meat does not flan. Okay, we're gonna fix the link. Uh, we spelled the right wrong. All right. Fixing link. Okay. Yeah, fixing link spelling. Mine right. Okay, I spelled spelling wrong, but that's okay because we got the link to work. East Face capital of the Great Kingdom of Northern called the Granite City is the city spring of wealth, but also wash devices. Okay. Well, yep, and then that's a good introduction, and then we have good box, and we have okay. Economy. Um, how do we do this? Let me sorry. Um, okay. Um, think. Let's see what we got. It's gonna be ad break 35 minutes. So we're gonna go at least for another 35 minutes, and then that'll be pushing 1 o'clock, and then we'll see. What? That'll be just past 1 o'clock, and I think I might need a nap. We're gonna keep going for that. We're gonna edit East Fair. We're gonna keep going with this because it definitely needs to have an actual page because there's so much information about this in the book. We need to go with that. Old City and New City. All right, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna put that in the rumors. Okay, so found headwater of the Flanme. The huge underground aquifers. The city owns almost at the end of March as it turns north from Orid. Oh yes, so um uh yes. Oh, I should mention the Wind March actually. We should bring that in. Okay, yes. Um let's see. Several number of truly exceptional crafts and artisan, threats to security. Alright, doesn't say much about the history. Well, the history. Okay, so the old city was built. Okay, here we go. And the city greatly expanded in size during the 3rd century when the new city began to grow outside the original walls. Okay, that is now mostly province poorer people, save for the complex building that assist, while the new city contains home workplaces well off. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put that in history. Um, yes, that is historically near end point with a big brewfest. Okay, the brewfest. Um, yes, the brewfest thing is uh great fair. Okay. Was traditionally the king Xanavar restarted the Wind March, but it kind of got piped for a while and got restarted. So I think we can put that in history. Okay, so history. The city was founded in 80 CY, and was a walled city, and then new that part of the original walls are still there, and that part of the city's old city, and then new city. I think there's well, it seems to me like there's walls around new city as well. So we're gonna start with we're gonna start with old city. Um, bum bum bum. Um, okay, this is how we're gonna do it. So let's see history. Walled city. Okay. Usually you put the date in that, and then it links automatically to the timeline in case. All right, so there's that. Walled city. Uh. Um. A period of rapid expansion, which sorry, rapid expansion. Oh shoot, hang on. Let me do one thing before I do anything else. Okay. So I'm gonna go to um. mm, do the kit summoning ritual. Alright. That is an important ritual. So there's that. Your history of East Fair. Okay, and do not forget the site source book. We're gonna have to throw one of those in. It's got a pretty complete bibliography, which is interesting. Someone put all the sources and then just didn't put any actual information. Hi, welcome. East Fair. Actually, I'll show you. Let me finish writing this spell part. Um, um, hmm, um, right. We're gonna go to. Okay, so here we go. So I went and looked the city of East Fair, right? What I found was entirely nothing. They'd left whoever had written it had a full bibliography, with everything. Oh shoot, I forgot to put. We'll throw in some citations in a minute. So it had a whole. They had the bibliography, and then of course the index, which is just there. They had an entire bibliography, and then had a a sentence or two up here, saying it was the capital of the East Kingdom, of the North Kingdom rather, and then blank sections. I just like history, people with the two subsections, government, economy, nothing else. Just four blank subsections. Four blank sections with two subsections, which are also blank, and a few sentences up top. I have, and then the realm was North Kingdom. So I put in the box, more box stuff. I put in a better introduction, and we're going through the sections. Um, I am, I'm a little peppier now, but I was kind of, did not get a lot of sleep last night or this morning, or I think less than an hour overall, maybe, and cotton cat apps. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna stream until the break. There's gonna be an automatic ad break in 35 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is stream until then. We're gonna put as much East Fair, information as we can. This is gonna take a while. East Fair. We're starting with the outline of a page, and I am, filling it in as we go. So, and my, of course, if the Undying has extensive details about all of the buildings and all of as much as they have for Roxas. I'm not gonna put all of it in, obviously, but we're gonna put a good chunk of it. We're gonna put it up here because it's information about East Fair and the city. Oh, Wind March, right? That was the second part we were gonna do for history. So let me bring that back up. Edit source. We're gonna let me go. Source. If it. What page are we going from? Okay. Let's see. Gone with. Okay, so Built of granite. Yes. Old city. So 47. Okay. Importance within the city and deliberately influence for expansion. Whispers in an interest chapter. Here. Okay, so. Yeah. Okay. I should say the Granite City. Okay. Granite City is more troubled. Let's see. All right. Yeah. So Granite. So it's 46 and ah. Oh. Well, I mean, in fairness, it did say it wasn't. Yeah, stubs. Create stubs to get rid of. I mean, I can understand that being like it's East Fair and there's nothing, and being like, okay, well, at least put a link saying it's the capital of North Kingdom, so people have an idea. So I can kind of see that, but also there's plenty of information available. You might as well flesh it out, you know. Um, let's see. Um, so I can see the pros and cons of that, but let's see. Okay, let me go back here and mention the wind march. Okay. Okay, so it's 47. Um. Um. Yes. Granite City. Uh. Granite City. Okay, so Granite City. And that's. I'm gonna do this. Uh. 46. Um. Actually, no. That's all 46, and then the history. Okay, yep. Yep. Okay. Source book. Vivid 47. Um, yes. There's that. So there's this. Okay. Um, yes, true. Never placed the source books. I'm not gonna add all. I'm gonna say probably like briefly mention the different places, the cyst, and for sure probably not, maybe not list the taverns. Well, like the town square, the cyst, you know, mentioned there are taverns, but not the names and the specifics. And of course, all the handy dandy DM notes, I'm leaving out those because every city, you know, it's like, oh, the DM should be aware that. I'm like, no, that's source book stuff. That doesn't go in the wiki. Which, but yeah, no, I know, you know, I leave some details, but those especially are like, well, this could be convinced if this, you know, that stuff goes in source books for sure. Um, uh, yeah. Um, there's definitely let's see. Um, yeah. Um, but for sure we should add more than we had for sure. All right, let's see. Original walls. The city. Okay. The city. You know it's uncouth, but I feel like this is the best way to do it. Yeah, there's definitely certain sections I leave out. Mostly, yeah, the DM tips are the big ones I usually leave out. Um, exactly, and that is the source book stuff. Because if you're gonna run it, you know, um, That's a big one. And stuff I'm not really putting in because, like you said, you want to encourage people to actually get the source books as per, which is fair. Yeah. Um, and then have the wiki as a summary for, you know, um, to supplement and easy reference. But okay. Let's see. Mm-hmm. And that's a big thing. We don't don't put the stat blocks in. Don't we I stopped that. We did some of them, but I think probably I'm gonna come back and take some of the stat blocks out just because uh you know no. Mm, what am I gonna do? Oh yes. No formal thieves guild. Okay, that's. Oh yes, the we are gonna talk about the fair. Um, either discipline. Um, let's see. Lies at the end of the wind march. Okay, so um, okay, I'm gonna say traditionally because I don't because the wind march kind of wound down and fell out after the kind of yearly tradition kind of fell down after the Greyhawk Wars, and then was revived by Savaner, which we looked up because that was an entire thing. Uh, the city fell. The end of the okay Wind March. Um, which is let's see, Wind March. So, yes, if it, which and hosted a massive brewfest. Um, fest. It's debauchery. Um, uh, it's debauchery. Infamous. Okay, and that one was on. That was 46. Okay, so this one's 46. This book. Good. Okay. So yeah, so it's the end of um ooh. That's actually that's actually not a bad one to have. Um I think that's kind of what the Forgotten Realms wiki kind of does is they have a general information over the editions, and they each edition the type changes and certain things change over the editions. They have like a click through, so you're like, oh well, this is in this edition and this is different in this edition, with artworks from the various okay, but yeah. mm, that's um I'm guessing type 5e goes in the box, which means you could go back and put it in on pre-existing creature articles, correct? um I don't think the Rust Monster changed types, but I think that's worth noting because I don't think I did that many creatures. But yeah, that is worth noting. Um, we might go back to the monster manual and do more creatures, depending on how we do. Okay, so Let's do this. Citations. Um, oh, good to know. Oh, and then their type changed from human to like from demi-human to humanoid, right? That that would be the big one. The shift from demi-human to humanoid, and then humanoid to goblinoid. I want to say is that's where that shifted. Um, I gotta figure out how to. There we go. Um, Elves are Fey. Interesting. I think they might that might have changed the fifth edition, but yeah. Dwarves and dwarf halflings. And gnomes are I don't know about have Fey linkage the same way elves do, but um, yeah the idea is that they changed the term from demi-human to humanoid, but uh, wow, interesting, huh? No, it makes sense. I think almost uh every bit of lore has them descended from Fae of some class. Whether they still have Fae ties or not depends on addition. For fuck's sake! No, did I just lose? Actually, I wasn't doing. Hang on. I screwed that up. Hang on. Um. Okay. Yep. Hang on. Let me fix that. Yes. Okay. Start with this, and what I was going to do was fix the other thing I was going to fix. Um, is that okay? Um, okay. Uh, it was just bugging me. Okay. Mm. There. Now it looks respectable. East Fair. Okay. Called the Grand City, swimming with milk, but also washing devices. All right. Okay. Um. Oh, ADCY does actually go through. All right. And um. Uh. Um. Um. Yep. All right. Minor edit. Yep. We fixed it. Okay. Cool. There we go. All right. I think there wasn't. I don't know if it was creature type Fey in 2014, but they'd have a trait called Fey Ancestry, which that was in 20. That was from 2014. I can't remember what it did exactly, but it was a something the elves had, if I recall correctly. Which gave them it gave them resistance to being charmed. If I recall correctly, let me fix that. Hang on. Yeah, I think that was resistance to charm. Um, all right. Okay. Yes. Oh yes, the cells. I don't know where to put that. I'm gonna put that in the. Maybe I put a whole section of espionage nonsense because that is an entire. that needs to go in there. It's like there are two competing cells um, that are getting in each other's way in such a way that they actually believe they're both saboteurs. Or at least there were as of 585. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Da-da-da. Um, um, yes, Windmarch, and Windmarch had a page. It did, okay. Um, um, oh, alright, page does not exist. Okay. It was established around 590. The name comes from an old belief that the roads and paths used by anyone traveling from one fair to the next follow the prevailing wind, which usually comes from west, late spring to early summer. Specification when the trade caravans traveling march came to town. Originally, the caravans traveled from planting at the beginning of the summer all the way to Patchwall. Later, it began earlier in cold even during the late spring and still goes till autumn. Patchwall art, yes. Um, Up all the way to East Fair, right. The Windmarch survives even during the mad and murderous reign of Avid's House Neelix, but later stages of the Greyhawk Wars and the collapse of the Great Kingdom, Windmarch ended as travel became too unsafe. Okay. Stops include. Where's that? Oh, for the Greyhawk Gazetteer. Okay. So. Yes. Um, yep. So it. This was. Right. So. Um, oh, it doesn't go through Northern Arity. All right. So. Um. Uh. Okay. Yes. This one was linked to Living Greyhawk Gazetteer. Okay, so um, yeah, I'm pretty good on templates. Okay, hang on. Half old. I'm good at starting with templates. Tweaking them is a little beyond me, but if I start a page, I can get the template to do it. The thing. Right, Alyssa. Okay. All right. I just want to check something. How did we cite that? Um, oh, that's a clever table thing. Okay. Um, Gazetteer. Okay. Living Greyhawk Gazetteer. Um, I'm gonna actually add that. All right. Um, 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 okay. Okay. I'm gonna hit cancel because I didn't need to do any of that. I needed to go to back to East Fair, and then I wanted to tweak this. Um, uh, uh, 7, right? I hope that's how you spell his name. Um, Reese. Windmarch. North Kingdom. To, uh, um, no longer went to. Um, let's see. Yes, that would be that. Zavener. Okay, hang on. Let me. I think that's. Yeah, because it's a history. I think that's worth noting that it stopped going there after. Okay, let me check something. Yep. Let's see. Um, was Evaner. Let me check this. Hang on. Mm-hmm. I do a preview. Show preview. Oh, hang on. Um, it doesn't do the side by side thing. I think that's because I have the screen so narrow to keep it with the browser, so you can't do the side by side comparison. All right, yeah. Okay. Um, yes. Okay. Devices, people, population. Um, human and human population. Okay, I'm gonna say human and okay, yep. So that um, let's see. Um, the okay. Um, why is it um why did it grow? Let's see. Um, um, uh, which had grown. Okay, all right, which had grown due to people seeking. Uh, um, Okay, it's limited human population. Where did I get the number from? That's the question. Um, areas. It said that. I could have sworn it said that. I just can't remember where it said that, so I'm trying to figure that out. Okay. Okay. Let me. Alright, I'm gonna stick that. Then we're gonna figure out if it. Okay. 46. Okay. Alright, I spent the entire ad break doing it. Okay, so 46 for that. Uh-huh. Alright, so let me check something. Let's go with. Let's do it in. Oh, Capital East Fair. That's the pop. Okay, yep, that's the. Um. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's East Fair. Okay. Yes. So that's from page 44. Okay. So, um, um, yes. Okay. I'm gonna put this. Um, how many? It's 3,000. Yep. There you go. Had grown just before. Yes. All right. It had grown with the Greyhawk horse. Okay. Uh. This people included. Let's see. Uh. This included a number of skilled craftsmen, but also. Um. Exception. All right. Yes. So wealthy merchants, new city. Okay. So. All right. So. Trade. East Fair, Granite City. Okay. Uh, 46. Okay, so let's put... Alright, okay, so there's that. Alright, I would like to take a nap before work. So I think that it's gonna be the stream for today. Let me put this. Alright, added everything. Okay. Okay. Read that. And I think we might need to add back some of these some more of categories. I think we can leave off geography, but history, population, religion. We might want to add back rumors and legends and cityscape. I think, but let's next week is 20. Wait, hang on. Next week's the 24th. I might stream next week. I have no objection to streaming next week. It'll be our Christmas stream because I have to work that night, so I have to be home essentially anyway. Yeah. If you find any more of them that are mentioned in that are in Ivid, I can pump those up because we've been. Yeah. So it's a little more information. I mean, it was mentioned it was the capital of North City, so it's something, but no, it's a little more to the city. Yeah. So yeah, added a little more to the city. And we'll work on more because there's definitely more to be added. Even if you don't do cityscape, the which the spy networks, we're gonna figure at least put a little bit about those in and other nonsense. Okay. Yeah, but thank you for coming to my editing session. Um, Appreciate it. Yeah, next week is Christmas Eve, but I'm down for sharing if anyone else wants to show. We'll do something fun. I'll wear my Pokeball sweater. That'll be fun. Uh, what else? I can. No, I can't wear my Pokeball sweater because it's at my parents' house. But yes. Um, we All right. Knew that. I think we should raid somebody. Now the question is, who do we raid? We raided Steamy Streamy yesterday, who was a fun raunchy stream, and I don't know if he's streaming again today. Uh, yes, that's the one. I JC is Tiger. Let's raid. I haven't raided. Let's raid Tiger Rights. Let's raid a writer, also fellow Greyhawk fan, and he convinced me to um update one of the Gord book passages actually. So let us head out. He's doing editing for um, technicians fight. So let's go and or he's just writing, I think. Yeah, we'll go say hi. Friend fellow Greyhawk. Uh, he doesn't write about Greyhawk or anything, but he's. Oh, let's do it. All right, take care of yourselves. I will see you all next week, tomorrow too. But